What's the word, people? It's your boy John back at you with another reaction video. This is 10 more times the Simpsons predict the future 2020 to 2021. Okay, so this is the only up-to-date one I could find. Yeah, ever since I was a kid, though, I never really paid attention to all the subliminal messages that was in The Simpsons, but I really think that the writers and the artists had some type of time machine or something, and I'm not sure if that's true or not, because they just be too accurate with everything that they be putting out on The Simpsons, man. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feel that way. It's just like, how you know something that's 10 years ago? I mean, something that you put out there for everybody to see 10 years ago and it's happening now. It's just weird to me. Like, do y'all have a time machine, or was it something that was already governmentally planned? I don't know. But we're going to go straight into it, man. Let's see what The Simpsons talking about now.
There have been a lot of Simpsons predictions that have shocked us over the years. But they're not done yet. This past year, we've seen even more predictions come true. Here is our list of The Simpsons predictions for 2020 and 2021. In the season 19 episode, E Pluribus Wigum, the Springfield residents are irritated by establishment politicians.
Is everyone here as sick of those stupid politicians as I am?
And the corporate media.
What about the media? They're not covering the issues. They just want to declare a front runner and go back to their mansions.
Mo asks,
who wants to abolish democracy forever? Show of hands.
But Homer suggests,
why don't we all pick the most ridiculous candidate and write him in?
This joke candidate, picked just to send a message, actually starts winning over the majority of voters.
Shockingly, this new face is now favored by 53% of likely voters.
What I did made the TV thing happen.
Cable news reporters jump on board and start calling him a master of the soundbite.
His take on immigration reform?
Stranger danger!
To his disciplined stance on government spending.
I only have this much money.
The GOP leaders have a meeting and decide to make Ralph their nominee.
Look, the William boy's better than anyone else we've got.
Hear, hear!
Well,
Lisa warns Ralph that they're just using him, but Ralph responds with,
Maybe I want to use them. Maybe you what? Use them to make this country great again.
Yep, he wanted to make America great again. This aired in 2000.
Hold on, man. That's scary, man. That's scary. Like, for real. That is scary, though. Like,
9 years before it was Trump's 2016 campaign slogan. As everyone has seen shared ad nauseum, The Simpsons predicted in the episode March to the Future that Trump becomes president.
We've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
In this episode, it's now notable how Lisa is dressed. Kamala might not be the first female president, but she is dressed strangely similar to President Lisa. I'd like to think that Kamala is just such a huge Simpsons fan that she did this on purpose.
What can I do to thank you? Legalize it. Legalize what? Oh, consider it done. Tasty.
The transition of presidential power in 2021 didn't go too smoothly.
Doors open, boys.
In 2007's The Simpsons movie, Washington calls on Tom Hanks in an attempt to regain some normalcy.
Hello, I'm Tom Hanks. The U.S. government has lost its credibility, so it's borrowing some of mine.
So with The Simpsons' ability to do everything first, it really isn't any surprise that 14 years later, Vanity Fair publishes the article, Tom Hanks will soothe the nation with the Biden inauguration special. There are
it's a time machine,
ton of
man.
Simpsons
They have
prediction
to.
claims that are
They gotta
just
have a
poorly
time
photoshopped
machine.
screenshots, and they
Yeah,
all
look at
kind
that.
of sound like some sort of S-anon.
They're controlling our minds with flu shots. I knew it. Well, kids, now aren't you glad we don't believe in inoculations?
But this 1993 Season 4 episode, Margin Chains, really is interesting. We and many other outlets have covered how this episode opens. You might have seen The Simpsons predicted coronavirus claims. What the episode actually contained was somewhat similar to COVID-19, but instead of China, the virus originated from Japan, and it doesn't become anywhere near the same pandemic. What makes this...
Well, they're not going to exactly throw it out there like, okay, it came from Japan. They're not going to actually say, yeah, well, it came from China in the show. Like, come on now. They're not going to do that. It's just... That's just too out there, I guess you would say that. But Come on now.
What's so special is that it doesn't end there. A group of angry citizens tip over a truck, accidentally unleashing a swarm of killer bees. Jump to May of 2020, just a few months after the coronavirus pandemic hit the U.S.
For the first time, a nest of Asian giant hornets has been found in the U.S.
And this is where most of The Simpsons' predicted attention ended for this episode. But if you continue watching, you'll see that during the pandemic in Springfield, Mayor Quimby pretends to be in his office while he's actually in the Bahamas on vacation.
Because of the
Sound like
epidemic,
something
I
Ted
have
Cruz
canceled
did in
my
Texas.
vacation to the Bahamas. I shall not leave the city. Hey, you! Get that steel drum out of the mayor's office.
Sorry, man.
In 2020, this came true in Austin, Texas, where Mayor Steve Adler
Told people to stay home while he was on vacation chilling in Mexico.
and then a riot breaks out in Springfield that begins with the toppling of a statue.
Each history's greatest monster!
No one part of this episode is spot on with its prediction, but having all four of these events in one single 1993 episode is Twilight Zone level odd. It's almost like an alien was writing spoilers on a message board, and the Simpsons writers did a Google translation that wasn't quite perfect, but they did get the gist of the message. Low-key, in 2020, a highlight of the year for me was escaping to the island in Animal Crossing. There I could just zone out doing the menial tasks of chopping wood, digging holes, pulling weeds. And in the 1998 episode, Bart is excited to play in a yardwork simulator.
I want to go on the yardwork simulator.
This chore sim predates most of the well-known daily task games like Farmville and beats Animal Crossing and Animal Forest by at least a year. These writers knew what gamers wanted. Now, if Nintendo could just catch up and make a VR Animal Crossing, we'd be gold. In the 2001 episode, worst episode ever, Bart and Milhouse sneak into comic book shop guy's place to find a big stash of secret VHS tapes. One of them being
Godfather 3, good version.
And 19 years later, it's revealed that Francis Ford Coppola is releasing a new cut of The Godfather Part 3 that he claims vindicates the film. Sounds like the good version. When Disney got its little mouse hands on the Star Wars franchise, the resulting films were, not quite the biggest hits.
Worst cosmic wars ever. I will only see it 3 more times. Today.
In the 2004 episode Codependence Day, Bart and Lisa are also disappointed with the new Cosmic War movies, and they break into Curtis Ranch to tell the creator,
Your early movies are timeless classics. Please, Mr. Curtis, go back to what made your first film so great.
You know what? You're right. I'm going back to my roots. Plots and characters lifted from westerns and samurai films.
It took 16 years, but in 2019 that finally happened. The Mandalorian became a huge hit with fans by blatantly paying homage to westerns and samurai movies. Have you recently been hearing a lot of rumors about Apple building a car? Then congrats! You're now catching up to The Simpsons, who predicted the Apple car in the 2015 episode Bart Hood.
Ooh, it's one of those new Apple cars. No, I think they should have stuck with computers.
You're probably better off getting stock tips from watching old Simpsons episodes than following Wall Street bets.
I'm not a cat. I am not an institutional investor.
In the 2006 episode, Please Homer, Don't Hammer 'em, the Simpsons family visits a JCPenney only to find that it's permanently closed.
Now it's a collection of candle kiosks and Persian CD stores.
How you doing, bro?
And 14 years later,
JCPenney filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, becoming the largest retail to fall victim to the coronavirus.
If you don't believe that the Simpsons writers are better than Jim Cramer at predicting the market, well then, how about the future of currencies? In the 2014 episode, You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee, Brazilian gangsters try to buy off Homer with a suitcase of bills with a 200 denomination on them.
We will get to him. We have our ways.
Well, what other ways besides guns and money?
We have 2 ways. 2 very good ways.
This cash didn't exist at the time, but as we've learned, just wait it out, because in 2020, Brazil's central bank announced that they're launching 200 banknotes. Have you found any Simpsons predictions that we haven't mentioned? Let us know in the comments.
Brazil got 200 banknotes, like $200 bills? That's crazy. Like I said, I really think the Simpsons writers, directors, producers, all have a time machine, because there's no way that they know this stuff and be straight on point like they are. It's just crazy. Like, what else they got on up their sleeve that we don't know? Come on now. It makes me want to go back and watch some of the old Simpsons shows and just try to put two and two together what's going on nowadays. But hey, who knows? But this was a cool video about the Simpsons though, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. You want to see me do more, leave a link in the comments. And I'm going to get back at y'all later. Peace.